Okay, this time we are going to talk about not just speed, but average speed. So what is the difference? Let's ask the help of our friend Moon Moon again. So let's say Moon Moon wants to go from point A to point B with the speed of 70 km per hour. This speed can be called as average speed because perhaps in the beginning of the journey he is a bit slower, but at the end of the journey it is a bit faster. So because we have different speed in the journey, we can say that the speed in the beginning, 70 km per hour, is the average speed. Okay. To illustrate it a bit better, we can draw it like this. So from point A to point B again, but in the middle we have point C. Let's say from point A to point C, the speed is 50 km per hour, while from point C to point B, the speed is 90 kilometers per hour. Now, to find out the average speed, you might think like this. Oh, it will be just 50 plus 90 divided by 2, because after all, it's average, right? It's the sum of two things divided by 2. But no, it's not like that, because to find out the average speed, what you need to know is each part's time and distance. So let's say from A to C, it is 150 kilometers and for 3 hours. From C to B, it's 180 kilometers in 2 hours. So the average speed will be the total distance divided by the total time. We know that the total distance will be 150 plus 180, 330 kilometers. And the total time will be 3 hours plus 2 hours, 5 hours. So the average speed will be 330 divided by 5, which is 66 km per hour. That's the meaning of average speed. Please pay attention that if we have only 2 points, let's say from X to Y, and we know that the distance is 100 kilometers, for example, and we know the average speed is 50 km per hour, don't get confused with the previous average speed. We can say it as average speed because, let's face it, in real life, going from X to Y, you cannot stay with the same speed all the time. You might get slower and faster and slower again and faster again. So this 50 km per hour is the average speed. But if your question is only about the time and there's no other information, you can just simply do distance divided by speed. 100 divided by 50, which is 2 hours. Now let's go back to our previous average speed. Here's another question. Let's say going from A to B, we stop at point C just like before, but from A to C, the distance is 40 kilometers, the time is 3 hours. And from C to B, we don't know the distance, but we know that the speed is 30 kilometers per hour and the time is 2 hours. How do we find the average speed? First of all, we know the total time is 5 hours, so we don't have any problem. The problem is the total distance, because the second part is still missing. That's why we need to figure it out first. We know that the second part has the speed and the time, and we can find the distance by multiplying speed times time. 30 times 2 is 60, therefore the average speed will be total distance, 40 plus 60, 100, divided by total time, 5 hours. So the answer will be 20 kilometers per hour. So the clue is to complete information that is not yet there. Now, here's an example of a question. You might want to pause the video for a while, read it through, try it by yourself, and then play it again to know the answer. You can pause it now. Okay, ready? I'll tell you the answer now. 3, 2, 1. First of all, it's better to draw the model. Okay, we can say that we start from school and then draw a line and then write library and then draw a line again and then home, because that's how Gobi runs. School to library and then library to home. Let's complete the information. We know that the distance from school to library is 300 meter and the speed is 25 meter per minute. We don't know the time yet. From library to home, At first, we don't know the distance, but we know that the total distance from school to home is 500 meters. Therefore, library to home will be just 200 meters. And the time is 13 minutes. You can see that the missing part is the time of the first part. Therefore, we need to calculate first. To find time, by using distance and speed, we can just do division of distance divided by speed. 300 divided by 25 is 12 minutes. Therefore, the average speed will be total distance, 300 plus 200, 500 meters, divided by total time, 12 plus 13 is 25 minutes. 500 divided by 25 is 20 meters per minute. That's the end. Thank you very much and good luck.